Okay, good morning and welcome to Chalk Springs Fishery down at Arundel. Down here for a little impromptu day's casting. Just before 8:30 in the morning, the sun's coming up over the hill, looking absolutely fantastic. It's a nice little breeze, nice little ripple on the water. Just walking towards the West Lake, which is where I'm going to start today. The wind will be coming off my left shoulder, which is just ideal for me. So let's see what happens. Have a little bit of fun. As you can see, the sun just coming up over the tops of the trees there. It's a little bit bright, but it's going to be behind us when we're actually casting, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. Looking at the catch report book this morning, they've had some very good days here. Some very, very good days indeed. So I think I'm going to start here. Just extend my net. Now I've got this black frothy thing on to start with, but we'll see what happens. The young lad in the office was saying that the blobs are doing very well. I'm not exactly adverse to a bit of blob fishing. Not seeing anything moving around at the moment, but there again, with the light being the way it is. That's it, right under the tree. That'll do nicely. That's sink. Just had a follow there. As I lifted the line out of the water, the fish came up and followed it in. So maybe I'm onto something. Okay, right, slight change of tack now. I've got onto a blob, which apparently works quite well at the moment. The blob is, as you know, it's just like it's an imitation egg or an imitation pellet, and the secret to this is making sure that your line is very buoyant so that you can see any strikes that take. I've had some big fish, particularly at Lechlade, on the blobs. Bearing in mind these fish were raised on pellets, sometimes it strikes the old instinct, the feeding instinct. They see a pellet, they take it. But it's very much you watching your line. As your line starts moving in the water, then you lift. And then really it's all about finding the depth at which the fish are at and adjusting your floatant accordingly. was a take. See, under the tree, there's school underneath the tree. They feel sheltered there. They feel safe there. Okay, so finally, after 3 hours, I've managed to hook into a fish, little rainbow. Gone down to an absolutely tiny, tiny little fly. This is literally the first touch I've had today. This fish turned on it quite nicely a couple of times before finally taking it. So at last I can get my net wet. Actually quite a beautiful trout. And he's gone. I'm not going to use the word bugger, but I think you know what I mean. Right, so I'm into a nice rainbow here. I've just pulled out of a very big fish. So we've got the one I've hooked, and he's being followed by another fish, trying to take the bait out of his mouth. And over onto an orange Fritz, which I've trimmed down. Tail was too long on it. And I've been having lots of fun. Not been able to nail any for this one. This one doesn't particularly like the sight of the net. He definitely didn't like the sight of the net. I think he's possibly beaten. He's mine. At last.